Hey everyone, welcome back to our family's YouTube channel. If you're new here, our family, the Leopards, live in this caravan and we travel all over New Zealand exploring, making memories while we have some fun adventures. We've been on the road for 2 years now. In this episode, it's all about our adventure camping through the freezing fog in the Mackenzie basin, but particularly Twizel, an area known for its winter cold conditions, but also its hot summers. We'd been planning our travels to head up to Twizel when the conditions were starting to look good for a hoarfrost, fog and a high pressure system. We were travelling slowly, making our way south with the plan that as soon as we'd get the word, we'd just push on through to Twizel. But we'd been here for a while now. We'd even left and come back, waiting for the fog to roll in and the temperatures to drop, because to have scenery like this, you need a bunch of days where the temperature never goes above freezing, where you're fogged in with no sunshine and everything starts freezing. Water pipes freeze, batteries start to die, and you're almost stuck in it because towing a big caravan on these icy roads really isn't a safe option or what we intended to do, and there were a lot of car crashes. But we plan to show you what camping in a caravan in these conditions is like. The excitement of waking up to a changing winter wonderland as the freezing fog grows on anything it can stick to. It's amazing because that frost is so detailed and intricate, but also nothing escapes it. The magnitude of this winter phenomenon is incredible, and you get to watch this amazing art transform the landscape into these kinds of scenes. But this is just a taste of what's to come in this video, and before I get too carried away, I did say we'd been waiting for the fog to roll in and the temperatures to drop, and after a pretty exciting week up the road at Oamarama Mount Cook in the snow, wow, another amazing experience, and I'll put the link to that video at the top there, but we'd been hanging out in Twizel waiting. And how long should we wait? We decided we'd give it another week, so to give us a new lease of life, we drove down to Oamarama, where we could get some cheaper groceries, have a fun day out away from the caravan, and the kids wanted to load up on lollies at the Rainbow Confectionery shop. We always love to see the seals that hang out at the Blue Penguin Colony as well. There's so many of them. There's actually quite a lot to do in Oamarama, including the steam pumped HQ, our first time visiting there. Wow, that place is pretty crazy what they have set up in there. But after a restock, we were ready and hoping Twizel would turn foggy and frosty, hopeful that the conditions were about to change in our favour. So let's go back to when we were waiting, back when we still weren't sure if we'd actually get to experience a hoarfrost this winter. It's foggy, everybody, it's foggy. Oh, I'm so excited. I've been looking at the fog, or looking outside a lot of times last night to see if it was fogging in, because it was forecast, and it is, and it's already turning this place amazing thick white. Just have to hope that it sticks around, because as soon as the sun hits it, it's gone. Sometimes as well, the first day, it's just still not quite cold enough for it to stay below freezing all day, and then it can kind of disappear. But man, fingers crossed. Already seeing a few cracks in the fog up there. It's only 9 o'clock. Ah, stay fog. I remember last year when it was hoarfrosting, it would look like it was about to clear, and then all of a sudden this big blanket of fog would roll on through and thicken it all back out again. But we've been waiting a long time for this, so we're hoping that it's going to stick around. Well team, it looks like it's starting to defrost a little bit. We are going to pack up. We need to go and get some water, so wish us luck trying to find a tap that is not frozen so we can put some water in our caravan. And we're going to move to Lake Waddell because the pond there is frozen, and that was the deal with the kids. So if it was foggy this morning, then we would go to Lake Waddell because they want to play on that frozen lake. So, packing up, hit the road.
It's too cold to hold, it hurts my fingers. Look at my seat twisted on me. Call you from the road, the world's turned into gold.
So we've made it to the dump station and everything's frozen. All the taps are frozen. Trying to rinse this toilet cassette is a problem. We still have water in the caravan, so I'm going to go and fill up a bucket with some fresh water out of our shower and tip that into the cassette to rinse it. Oh, the things you have to do in winter time, eh? So it seems like our cold water pipes are frozen in the caravan. None of the cold water taps except the kitchen one are coming out, but the hot still works. So as much as we love the hoarfrost, this is part of the struggle. I guess it's easy to show you all the best bits, but there sure are some challenges. It was nice as well that we were able to rinse the dump station out with fresh water because the people who were here before us didn't or couldn't. Back at our friends the Goodwins, all the taps are frozen here in town, so they have got a nice packed insulated tap that we can use. Park up on some chocks so that way we try and get the caravan a bit more flat, otherwise the water tanks can be, like they say they're full, but really they're only about 2/3 full because of the angle. Andrew, thank you for keeping this insulated for our arrival here to get some water. Oh, and Rachel's invited us in for a cup of tea, so we'll fill up this water, go and have a cup of tea and be warm in their nice central heated house. So once we were filled up with water, I went for a drive around the block to park properly and stumbled across this pretty awesome thing. Frozen solid. Well, the frost is all melted. We've come out to Lake Waddell. It's like 2 degrees, but still very thick fog up there. No sunshine, even though it's blue skies elsewhere. We'll go and find somewhere to park. If you're not familiar with this area, Lake Waddell is a free camping spot just down the road from Twizel. In winter, the pond here often freezes over, and that's why our kids really wanted to stay here. It's like an adventure playground. We decided to park in the same spot we parked last time. There are some better spots through the other side there, but you just get a lot of road noise. I guess you're building up to cross the canal and the trucks are so loud. But this is a good spot, and hopefully we'll be covered in ice tomorrow morning. So the forecast for tonight is reading -5 to -7 degrees. So our water pipes were frozen, as I mentioned before when we were in Twizel and I was trying to get some water to empty out our toilet cassette. So we've been saving bottles since before we went up to Oldaki, up to Mount Cook, and we've just been filling these with water. Usually we've just needed to use a couple of bottles of water to get us through to about 11 o'clock. And then we turn our water pump on, but they potentially might not defrost until hoarfrost is over. I'm going to guess it's going to go for a couple of days, a few days at least. Well, I'm not sure what happened, but it didn't quite get too frosty overnight. It was about -1.9, and it's not really so white. It's almost like ice falling, like it's raining ice, but in this fog. But things have got a very light covering, not quite what we were hoping for. The day wasn't lost, it stayed below zero and the kids had a great time out on the ice. And by the end of the day, you could see that the frost was thickening on the trees, which made us hopeful for tomorrow. Sweet team, well tonight we're making a lasagna. We only do this usually in the winter time in our caravan unless it's Jade's birthday, which is often her request. So I've made a vegetarian mince tonight with just some lentils, kernelled corn or corn kernels, black beans and a can of baked beans and some pasta sauce. I'm just making a bit of a cheese sauce and we're going to throw it in like a container and put it in the oven to cook. So I do my lasagna a little bit different to most people. I definitely don't cook it first. Straight in the pan, I just mix cheese sauce and the Mexican mince into it and stir it all up together. So that way it's got heaps of like cheesiness and mince through the whole pasta. And then the pasta just absorbs all of like the flavors from the cheese sauce and the mince, and it becomes a very flavorful lasagna, that's for sure. So that might be a little bit of a different way to how maybe other people have cooked lasagna in the past, but it always works out. The pasta is always cooked as long as everything has like moisture on it. If you've got bits of dry pasta sticking out the side, it doesn't. They seem to stay like quite crunchy. But you can see this one's all covered, ready to go in the oven. The good thing about making one of these big batches of vegetarian mince up is that there's usually enough here for 2 meals for us. So we'll scrape the leftovers into a separate container and we'll have that with dinner tomorrow, maybe some quesadillas or something.
Woo.
That's not looking too bad for being cooked in a Caravan oven, is it? Gas oven. A lot of people don't have much success with theirs. I just find if you give it a good preheat 10-15 minutes and then put your food in, cooks evenly. I have not rotated this lasagna. I've just chucked it in and left it, and it's cooked all the way across the top, nice and golden brown. But anyway, we're going to eat dinner. We'll see you tomorrow. Alright, what's happening?
I'm making pancakes.
How's it outside?
Like I just said, it's minus 4.5.
Yep, we have ourselves a true hoarfrost now. She's painted white and it's beautiful.
And I'm feeling like you were something I won't lose. You were a part of me. This way you'll always be. This way you'll always be a part of me.
Man, how amazing is that lighting, eh? The colours are beautiful. What an awesome morning. So good to be here. Very blue up above us, but it's minus 4.5, so I don't think anything's going to melt too quickly.
I will hold it all of my life, and I'm feeling like it was only ever you.
We've got Caravan legend John Rogers here. Came to find us in the hoarfrost. John, how's it feel?
Oh, chilly, isn't it? Bit chilly. It's good though. It's all
We've both been hanging out for the hoarfrost to come, wondering if it would, and it's arrived.
Yeah.
Colder than you think, or is it not too bad?
well, I think we're getting used to it a little bit. Just cheeky, balmy -3,
Oh yeah.
I think. But no, oh, this is awesome, eh? Absolutely awesome.
It's pretty spectacular. Oh, is it going to make it? Man, I don't know how people do it in those vans camping out here in the hoarfrost.
No.
No heating in there. They'll be freezing overnight, and the condensation must be mental. It's been a car crash on the bridge, a reminder. Driving in these conditions is not good, eh? There's a lot of black ice. That hoarfrost, that fog just freezes to the road as well, so especially overnight when there's barely any cars on the road, it just ices up. I think there was a 3-car crash on the bridge, so all the actual traffic stopped up here by the police. Sweet, well, I've been out here for about an hour now. My nose is feeling very cold, so I think it's time to go into the caravan, have a coffee, and warm up again. With multiple crashes around the place, we left driving till a later time in the day when roading crews have had a chance to grit the roads and make icy areas safer. Often the coldest temperatures were just after sunrise, and with 3 separate lots of crashes, all of them involving more than one car, right by Lake Waddell where we are camping, they all happened early in the morning. But right now, we're headed for a drive to go and check out some hoarfrost. So me and John and the girls have gone out to take some photos of the cool hoarfrost and a bit of video for you guys. Before you roast me in the comment section for driving in this, the roads have been cleared and they've been re-gritted. And it's after lunchtime now, so it's a lot safer, but man, just getting thicker by the minute, John.
It's just getting whiter.
fences, and then
That's cool.
those ones in portrait.
My tracks, I'm not looking back. So I will go so far that I couldn't have you close. 'Cause you turned my heart, thought I'd let you know that I found what I need. It's different now. You've been my reason to stick around. Now all my defenses are falling down. You're the meaning of home to me. Yeah. Oh. You're the meaning of home.
Well, this is Cameron Lock, or Lock Cameron. It's frozen over, but it's nowhere near thick enough to walk on. Even though the hoarfrost looks so icy, it's super delicate, and direct sunlight makes it fall out of the trees almost instantly. And that fog was thinning out and the sun was starting to break through. You can hear, as soon as the sun hits it, it's falling. It's not very often you're hoping the sun will go away, but today is the day. We don't want to see it go away. You're rolling.
Okay, we're off to Keelan's Pond here in Twizel. We're trying to get some Shelley Evans photos.
Oh, I can hear it falling. We were kind of trying to get to a few popular places in case the sun did manage to come through. Even though this was really only day 2 of the frost, if seeing these winter scenes is your cup of tea like ours, it's devastating to see it disappear and finish before you're ready for it to be done. This is partly why you need the big high pressure system to keep wind away, the temperature cold, and this wasn't even a very thick hoarfrost yet. This fog, this hoarfrost is so temperamental, eh? We get a slight breeze on some of these trees and you just see the frost falling out. Just a very slight breeze. After a few hours of being out there exploring, I was starting to get way too many photos on my camera and this GoPro, so it was time to head back to the caravan. Well, it's pretty well blanketed this morning. Minus 6.3 is what we recorded last night, which is the coldest night we've had since we've been on the South Island. Skies were super clear last night and then fogged in again. So we'll go and have a look at how thick it is this morning. Our batteries ran so low last night that the heater even shut down. So we had to plug the old EcoFlow in and get the batteries going again so the heater could be turned on, because man, whew, it'd be cold to be in the caravan. It is so poorly insulated. Like when we're up at Oamarama, we came back to the caravan, it was 4 degrees inside. Oh, it'd be freezing if it was -6 outside, it'd probably be -2 inside. I really don't think you can be in these conditions without a generator. It actually got so cold that we'd need to warm our generator up in front of the diesel heater in the caravan. I think the oil or something was freezing, and the batteries, well, they might be charged, but they just struggle to operate in these temperatures. Thanks, Dan, for loaning me your little battery management thing so that I could have a look at what our battery health is like. I guess we learned that our batteries were charged, but the cold just wouldn't allow them to give us anything. When it gets this thicker, it completely transforms the whole tree, just paints it all in white. Must be pretty heavy for the tree having all of that ice like clung to it, weighing it down as well.
spent the night in my heated jacket. I may have left my drink bottle in the truck overnight. And it may have frozen.
So we were back into the truck heading towards Twizel. Today, as a whole family, we wanted to go and venture to Oamarama to check out some of the hoarfrost scenes there and to Sailor's Cutting. But may as well stop off and check out some of the favourite spots now that this frost was getting even thicker around Twizel.
Just keep swimming. There's a million trails to get where you're going. You set your sails, you find a deeper ocean. Just beginning. And this boat you've been rowing is only gonna take you where the river is flowing. Yeah, it's flowing. It might be today, maybe tomorrow. It's 1 foot down, let the other one follow. And keep going.
When you're in the area, you got to come see the frozen bike sculpture at Oamarama.
Just keep going. When you look around, feel like you don't fit in. Just run your
What do you got?
race, no matter who's winning.
That's big, eh?
Yeah. Mom, look at this one.
There'll be ups and downs.
Cool, well, we've seen it, got the photo, bit of video, off to the next spot. Sweet, well this is Sailor's Cutting, just out of Oamarama. Good spot. It's not quite as thick here though, the frost. There's some really nice trees to take photos of here at Sailor's Cutting, as well as a nice big long jetty. In the summertime, this is a camping area and a boat launch.
Hold on tight when the wind is blowing. And keep going. And keep going.
Today is a Saturday midweek of the July school holidays, so there's a lot of people that have come up to have a look, and I think just people accessing the ski field areas around these parts. So it's pretty busy, but nice come down to the end of the track here. There's no one here, which is nice. So after an hour or so, we headed back towards Twizel and back into the blue skies and sunshine, and the hoarfrost was completely gone. What takes days to build is gone in an instant. We just hoped that Twizel was still buried under the fog, but if it wasn't, we were grateful for the experience we had had, after thinking that this year might be the year that the hoarfrost didn't happen. But it doesn't look like Twizel was escaping the fog yet. It's got real thick again and nothing's melted on this part of the road anyway.
Come back, fog. Yes, go the fog.
Doesn't move when I'm with you.
We've made it back to camp. The frost has survived yet another day, which is amazing. So tomorrow it's going to be even thicker again. Tonight we're going to go hang out in John's camper van with him, with his caravan, and watch the All Blacks hopefully beat England, and get ready to wake up to another winter paradise here at Lake Waddell.
We're gonna have pumpkin soup.
And what are you doing?
I'm peeling all the things that's gonna go in it.
Is that your punishment?
No.
Toby likes cooking, so he wants to chip in and help. Cool, well our soup is getting close to being done now, and I've got some scones on the go. They are about to go in the oven. I've got the first lot in there. Should be a nice hearty winter's dinner. Now I've been getting a lot of questions about this little temperature gauge here. Just a Trade Me one, guys, so I just got it off Trade Me weather station. It's pretty accurate though, and people get a bit worried that we're freezing cold in this caravan. So currently it's minus 0.6 outside, and it's 18 degrees in here. So look at Soch, she doesn't even have a jacket on.
I get very worried that we're freezing cold.
when we leave the caravan and the heat is off and we come back, the caravan can be very cold and it can take a little bit to get it warmed back up. I think Aoraki, we were out, came back, it was 4 degrees in here. Took quite a while to get the caravan up to temperature after that. Good morning, just woke up. It's another foggy day here. It's nowhere near as cold, it's only about 0 degrees. I'm going to predict that it's all going to fall out today. You just start to see these big white, if it's not sunny, these big white patches of hoarfrost that falls to the ground under the trees, and then it looks like it snowed. But I'm going to go for a bit of a mission after I've had a coffee and go and get some photos at some of the places that are hopefully not fogged in, because you don't really get as good a shots with the fog kind of through the background, or it does look a little bit eerie though. But these are the trees I've enjoyed coming to look at every morning, because they seem to have just got whiter and whiter and whiter. Looking pretty white still, and that fog is still quite thick. 5 days of this kind of weather definitely feels like the perfect amount. I think we've all had a great chance to get out and capture it all and experience it. I think we're kind of desperate to get the caravan on the road and go and fill up with some water so that we can have showers. A mate John, his water pipes have been frozen since the first night here, so he hasn't had any running water, so he's been relying on bottles. He had to go to the supermarket and buy some yesterday. So hopefully it is good when everything starts to defrost again, but I think that we are going to plan to move on today. We'll go to our friend's place to get some water, and we might go meet up with some other mates, and man do I have some editing to do. Woo! This time I went out on my own, and with the fog mostly gone, it's such a different sight being able to see things clearly. I guess it was a good and bad thing that the sun hadn't come out, because you know how quickly it all disappears, but it does look spectacular with the blue sky in the background. Driving down these highways, you see a lot of people pulling over to take a photo, and they pull over and they're still on the road, which means cars coming behind them have to go across the centre line to not hit them. And then if there's another car coming the other way, it's a big reason you get these big accidents, because people are pulling over not safe. You've got to find somewhere safe to pull over. One of the things that I find a real challenge is I want to be able to show you how detailed and intricate all of this hoarfrost is by trying to get the close-ups, but then to try and capture the scale as well of how covered just the whole landscape is in this freezing fog. It's a challenge to show how incredibly beautiful it is. I've just come down to what's called the Old Iron Bridge, which is the ridge before they dammed all of this area creating the Lake Rui Taniwha. It's the old bridge that used to go across the Oho River. There's a lot of people down here taking photos. It looks pretty good. I drove right down. I thought, oh, I better not get my truck in their shots. So I've come park somewhere else, but I don't really want to talk in front of them. But it is, the hoarfrost here is the best I've seen.
We're all searching, always searching for the easy way out. The few that found it only found that life's a merry-go-round.
Driven past this tree so many times, it's very, very weighted underneath all of that ice. Back at the frozen Keelan's Pond, gonna put the drone up here and get some unobstructed views. It's flippin' amazing. It's fallen out of these trees so thick, look at the ground. It's well covered, but the views are pretty awesome out here.
No better
That is incredible. Such good drone footage of that hoarfrost. Warms my heart. I'm glad I got those shots. Such a different feeling arriving back out here to Lake Wardell to the caravan, and we have unobstructed views. Still pretty frosty here, but 1 degree, and definitely things are changing around on the drive back to camp since I left this morning. But we are going to hook up pretty soon, and then we're going to be off on our next adventure. We're not sure where we're staying tonight. There's a park over property, some private land by the Ahuriri Conservation Park, or we might end up in Oamarama. We will find out later. You see how fast it stops dropping, don't you? Just comes out of the trees real quick. It's like it's snowing. Cool, well, it's melting. Well, it's falling out of the trees fast. We're getting some big snow patches on the ground now, which still look pretty. It's good to leave before everything defrosts and it gets real muddy, and then you're just tracking mud all through the caravan. Although we'll probably be tracking mud through the caravan at the next spot. One last look at my trees, and then it was time to go. I was really sad leaving here, just incredible memories of happy times, living our best lives, battling the elements in a winter wonderland. It's something that's quite rare to experience, and I leave here with a full heart and feeling really grateful. And as we drove out of Twizel and onto our next adventure, look, everything was gone.